Griffin, does racism, we've talked about this before, but because of what we're talking about, I'll bring it up. Does racism exist where you are?
When they're done laughing. Hold on.
At the ridiculousness of my question?
Yeah.
God, I want to have that laugh here on Earth. Would it always exist here?
There's no sense of, judgment. There's no sense of measuring. There's no sense of, oh, you're smarter than I am. That doesn't even exist. It's, just taken from you. There's no need for it.
Stripped of that at the door.
Yes. Taken. Just gone. There's no, I'm taller than you.
Yeah. Does it look utterly ridiculous when you look on Earth and see it?
I'm so sorry. He can giggle.
Yeah.
That's a yes.
Yeah. Because it's 2017 and we're still talking about dividing blacks in one room and whites in the other, and we have all black television, BET. We have all white television, the regular channels with a few. I mean, it just looks like maddening when you look at it. It's
it is maddening.
So silly. I saw Griffin, I don't know what it's called, but I saw a black woman. She's a beautiful model, and she has white on her, like it's a skin thing like Michael Jackson had. And she has white, she is almost starting to look zebra-ish, like white stuff all over her. She's beautiful. And I was like, I bet that's what you guys are working on up there. Just make us all speckled so we can just take out racism. Is it going to come down to something like that?
No.
It's so crazy. Griffin, why do we as humans, if you have a black mom and a white dad, or a black dad and a white mom, you always have to say you're black? Why? There's something inherently wrong with that, I think.
Totally is. Two ways that it's showing up, and he said, so listen to both sides. One is if you list yourself as a black person, you get more notoriety.
Okay.
Because ancestrally you had a hard time.
Right, and you're having
so you can get a better scholarship, right. You can get a better grant, you look better on paper. If a company's hire you, then they're, mixed racial company, and it looks good that way.
Paper, okay. But Obama's mom was white?
It started off as making sure that we could identify who was black when we needed that in history for the segregation purpose.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it stemmed from, and I'm not sitting here saying that is right, because it's not right. But,
right.
And he's up and moving again, and he's saying, let's just give it to the black people. Their genes are better, they're stronger, they're way more awesome and more superhuman than the white folks. And he said, so if I had a fourth of that stuck in me, I'd be like, I'm black.
I know, Griffin always thought that. And so did my mom. Can speak on my brother thought that too. That blacks are definitely superior. And people are just joining the blog as I'm saying this. But, yeah. We just started some shit, Griff.
Personal opinion. He's like, that's all it is.
But I had a talk with my friend about this, Al. I said, you and I are close enough to have this talk. How come it seems like if an athlete is white and an athlete is black, and people have gotten fired over this, so this is so politically incorrect for me to talk about this, but it just seems like the black person always has the upper hand, athletically superior. Just in reality, in most cases, it happens that way. And I was like, Marshawn, have you ever seen a ghetto piece of chicken like that? And I was rolling, crying, laughing, because he's like, seriously, look at the food we eat and stuff like that. It has we can't afford organic and all that stuff, And I was like, you might have a point to that. Is there a point to that, Griff?
Griff says, it's been scientifically proven that they have different muscles. They have different muscle twitches, and their muscles build just because of... I've never heard of this, just personally saying.
Right.
He's saying how they build and rebuild, and just from the location of where their race generated from and what was needed for survival.
Right.
That has built into their ancestral links.
Right.
Said, so, come on, we got to give them that.
Are we going to see more mixing in the future, Griff? Is the mixed child going to be this what is, you know? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Did that sound racist?
But, no, he took it as all different types of races on Earth.
Everybody.
He goes, you've done your part. I'm the first to water down my husband's lineage.
Right, exactly, right? Exactly. It's just so sad that we still have racism in this day and age because, Jamie, me growing up in the South, I had Ku Klux Klan march in front of my school. Yeah. And when my brother dated a black girl, my parents didn't have any problem with it. The thing that they said to him was, and her parents said too, was, we love that y'all love each other. We just don't want y'all to get killed. You know what I mean? Because you're worried about your child. Yeah. They marched right in front of my school in Georgia. Scary, huh?
It's different times.
It's about, like, a WTF is this. Yeah. Yeah. But my parents were liberal California. My mom can speak to it. I didn't know racism in my house. And I didn't know that all I grew up around it was just black and white. Like, I had never seen a Latin girl or whatever. So when I moved to California, I met a Brazilian girl who was my best friend when I was 18. I just looked at her in awe, and I always told her, I said, Anna, if I was to take you to Georgia, those guys would just stare at you. Like, you're beautiful. I didn't know that all I was seeing was black and white, black and white. You just don't know any better. That's why you know all this is taught, And now I think Georgia has a lot more Latins and Spanish-speaking people, and, it's more diverse. But growing up, all there was black and white. I didn't even know a Jewish person, or I didn't know that I didn't know one, and I might have known one and not known it, but I didn't know,
It's funny, I had the similar experience.
Yeah, but I wasn't racist, and we weren't allowed to talk like that in my house, and my parents wouldn't have cared if you had a different partner or whatever. And I remember when I worked at Dairy Queen, me and Neville Norris, we went up in the attic and kissed each other, because he was black and I'm white, and we just wanted to see if black and white people kiss the same, so we kissed each other. We looked at each other, Jamie, when I was 14 years old. I had a worker's front, and we looked at each other and nodded our head, yeah, pretty much the same, and we walked back down. It was so innocent. You know what I mean? Isn't that cute?
Griffin thought you were going to say, if you taste different.
No.
Not kiss the same, but if you tasted different.
I didn't think of that, but no, we didn't taste different either.
No, just
but we looked at each other and had the same reaction. It was like we both shook our head. No, same. And we walked down the stairs. Isn't that cute?
Yes.
So innocent, the things we do. It's like Dylan was playing with Kevin's nephew when he was about 3 years old. His sister has a black baby from a black man, and I guess that would make sense. And they were in the bathroom. They ran in the bathroom. Were like 3 years old, and we could overhear Dylan go, "Even your butt is brown." And the little boy goes, "Yeah." And they came out and just ran and continued playing. So cute. Even your butt is brown. Isn't that cute? So innocent. They didn't care, but it's cute. Yeah.
Nope, and that's where it needs to stop, right there. Curiosities, let's get to know each other, and let's carry on.
And that's it, right? Exactly. I'm so glad there's no racism in heaven.
None.
I'm so
Nothing.
over it. So
Not
over
even
it.
to how much... I have no idea what you just said. So, like, how much stuff you have or what you can do?
Or how tall you are, or how, it's not like that.
Nope, that is an earthly experience. Enjoy.
Right. So, joy. It's the one thing, the one place you can go where it's just who you are, right? It's who you are.
Yeah, to the core of things. He said, what I like is...
The heart of the matter.
Imagine and not to be all sci-fi, but imagine if they made something where, like a big old mood ring,
Yeah.
you wear,
That's
that
so
just
funny.
kind of morphs and changes to show the emotion behind what you're talking about.
Right.
I think one way to beat racism, and he says, I have a strong opinion on this, Mom. One way to beat racism is to be able to say how you feel, like to be able to confess what your emotions are. So let's say if I was on the street, you would talk about this, you see someone that was scary.
Right.
That right there is racism.
Yep.
It's not a survival technique because you know shit about that person. You just laid a judgment on them,
Right.
whether they were black, yellow, orange, purple, I don't know, whatever.
Right.
But you were scared, and people all knew that you were scared of that.
Right.
Because then somebody would say, and this always happens when anybody's afraid, they're like, I want to help you. Like, what are you afraid of? What are you looking at? What is it? And then you get the information about that person, and then you know why they walk like that, dress like that, look like that, or whatever, of who they are, how they identify.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you're not afraid anymore.
If we could talk freely.
Racism goes away.
If we could talk more freely.
Yeah.
Right.
It wouldn't be about sitting down and talking about racism, straight to it.
Right.
It'd be talking about what are we feeling.
Exactly. I agree. I agree with that 1,000,000%.
And a lot.